What's up everybody, Bandit and Chad here for another Taco Tuesday, or should we call it Tundra Tuesday, because we're actually going to go to the local dealership and give you all a walk around of the 2018 Tundras. Now, I was there the other day to get my battery terminals cleaned up a little bit from the dealer, and they were nice enough to get me through there really quickly. You know, they worked me in, I just showed up, and they did all that for me, so huge thanks to Sheeler Toyota for doing all that. And I also noticed while we were at the dealership that they do have quite a few 2018 Tundras on the lot, and there are a few key differences to really pick out a 2018 Tundra if you see one. So we thought we'd go over all of those today. Unfortunately, we did look around a little bit while we were there last time as well, and there were none of the 2018 Tacomas, so we'll have to wait a little bit longer to give you a walk around video of that. But we'll definitely go over the Tundra today. And while we're on the subject of Tundras, we have to give a shout out to Tundra Dude 34. Tundra Dude 34 is a YouTuber a lot like us, but does cover the Tundra like we cover the Tacoma. So, you know, he does, I believe he does daily uploads still, but he's really been growing over the past little bit and doing a great job of covering that vehicle. And if you have any questions, be sure to check him out about the Tundra. When I came the other day, they were all parked right here. There you can see a couple of them right there. Easy to tell by that darker grille. You never had that on the TRD trucks from 2017 and before. Yep. So a lot of the same colors and same badging, same wheels obviously, and same Bilstein shocks in there. But there are a couple little changes here. Looking inside, it looks more or less the same here. So here for a fully loaded SR5 Crew Max TRD off-road truck, you can see you do have the TRD off-road package, the SR5 upgrade package, which adds that huge 38-gallon fuel tank, and the convenience package, which includes a lot of the safety features and everything else. You're looking at right around $47,000 before any sort of incentives. These 2018 trucks, one of the more notable things here is with the headlights. You can see more of the LED display, a really nice look here, and I do like the darker bezels that are on here as well. Also, you have the darker grille. We're thinking one very similar to this is going to come on the Tacomas, and again with the perfectly flat emblem. You know, nothing behind there, and a lot of that is to hide the Toyota Safety Sense P safety package and everything like that. Here's a look at the inside of the orange one, more or less the same. Plain SR, you can see is just the SR 4x4 truck. Asking $35,500 for this one, and it is sort of a work truck package. You can see it does have the steel wheels and everything else. It does have a more basic front end, not too many LED lights in here, but it does still have the upgraded grille and emblem. And then moving around here to the interior, you can see you do have kind of a leatherette, kind of vinyl-y looking seat, which is really nice, along with that bench seat. So there's a little walk around of the 2018 Tundra. There's another look at that SR. And even for the SR, the more basic one, it is a pretty nice package. You know, it does come pretty well equipped, and it does have pretty nice seats, you know, infotainment system, everything else. But it's really amazing to see that truck beside all of these Tacomas. You know, the Tacoma is not a small truck, but beside a Tundra, it looks absolutely tiny. It looks like there might be a couple more up here that we might get a look at. There's a 2017 Tundra. You can tell because it doesn't have the same grille at all. A lot more chrome up front in that one for sure. So this out front is actually what caught my eye the other day. That's the 2018 TRD off-road there, but in the cement color. That's clearly different than Chad's Silver Sky Metallic. And that will be added to the normal TRD lineup, you know, the off-road and the sport when they come out, much like they will be to the Tacoma when the 2018s come out for that. So it's not limited to the TRD Pro anymore, and you will be able to get that just on a more basic trim, you know, for those TRD off-road and TRD sport trucks. So another thing worth mentioning there is there will not be a 2018 TRD Pro Tundra, and that is confirmed by Toyota. We think that they're doing so many more upgrades to the normal lineup that they're not really going to focus on having a TRD Pro for this model year. But there will be at least one change to the TRD Pro's 4Runner and Tacoma, and that is the Cavalry Blue. So that's one of the Toyota heritage colors, much like Quicksand and a lot of the other colors that were found, way back in the Toyota heritage lineup, with the FJ40 and a lot of older vehicles. And it is kind of like a brighter blue. It's definitely not a navy blue, but it does look really, really good, especially on that 4Runner there. And they also offered those in the FJ Cruiser as well, which obviously isn't sold here for America anymore, but you may be familiar with that color.
So moving into some news for this week, Toyota is putting their Mirai fuel cell packs into a Class 8 vehicle, which is an 18-wheeler. You have some numbers, don't you?
Right, so with two of those packs together, they're in one of those trucks, you're getting about 670 horsepower and 1,325 foot-pounds of torque. And they're saying with all of that, you can get around a range of 200 miles or so, which isn't terrible. And they're actually testing these in California. So for all of you West Coast viewers, if you do see one, try to snap a picture and send it to us. We'd love to see it. It'll probably be a while before they make it to Virginia, unfortunately. Yeah. But we are really interested in that, and it is kind of an interesting idea. Toyota is certainly trying to lead the field with their hydrogen vehicles, and if they can get it all the way up into a Class 8 truck, I think it's a great marketing ploy if they were to bring that then into consumer vehicles.
So coming back to some JL news, it turns out, like we had mentioned last week, how the NHTSA had posted a document that put out those horsepower numbers for a turbocharged 4-cylinder model for the new JL as having some crazy horsepower numbers. Well, that document has come out as unrated, or not rated.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
So we were saying that 370 horsepower does seem like a heck of a lot for the new Wrangler, especially for a stock motor, and it looks like that may be right, and now it is, as Shad said, listed as not rated. Now, we did catch a little bit of flack last week for people saying, well, they have 1,000 horsepower WRXs and STIs, and the Ford Focus RS makes a lot of power and everything else. They do, but they don't stock. You don't get 1,000 horsepower stock 4-cylinder. Yes, you can get 6 to 1,000 horsepower out of a modified vehicle, but they then don't have any warranty. You can't dial up and have 50 pounds of boost in a stock vehicle, because it would probably blow up before the warranty would run out, and then the company would have to replace all that. So yes, they can do that, but no, it's not normally on a stock vehicle. And following up there with the JL Wrangler news, the user guide was actually leaked on the Wrangler forums, and basically what that is a user's manual for the vehicle, and that had about 100 pages there in that leak, and it's some pretty interesting information. One of those is that it will have a power retracting roof. It went into some detail doing in that user guide, and it said you had to remove the rear windows there, kind of between the C and the D pillars, and then the rest of the top would retract by itself, but it would not come entirely off. So it kind of sounds to me like what they did there for the Fiat 500s, where it has a switch and it's just a cloth top that slides backwards. Like I said, it didn't really show any pictures or anything like that, but hopefully we'll know some more information about that soon. Following up there with that user guide, it also said that it will have blank auxiliary switches from the factory, much like we're guessing that the Raptor does, but these are buttons, they're not switches, but it'll be really nice for when people in the aftermarket want to add lights or whatever else, whether they are Mopar products or just other aftermarket brands, that all of that will be built into the vehicle. Another thing about this vehicle is for the Rubicon, it will have the removable bumper caps like the Rubicon Hard Rocks did of the JK models, and also there will be a way to turn the electronic stability control entirely off. Which is really great. A lot of these vehicles are becoming more and more autonomous and trying to be more safe, but it is really great, especially when off-roading, to be able to turn off all the electronics that sometimes are good and sometimes a little bit detrimental to your trail riding experience. So overall, some pretty good information there. Hopefully that'll be coming out officially here in the next couple of weeks, and we'll be sure to keep you all up to date. But as of now, that's all that we know about the upcoming Wrangler.
moving on to some Volkswagen news. Volkswagen has invested $1.7 billion into the bus and commercial truck market. Now, what we're going to probably be seeing is Volkswagen is going to be coming out with some more commercial vehicles, more so than what you would think with the Volkswagen bus or the microbus. You know, these different types of models that we're used to. It's definitely going to be more put out there for these commercial type applications. Not really sure when that's going to be coming out, but they have invested that large lump sum of money into that field of vehicle.
Right, and what they're really trying to do is grow their electric vehicle applications. They have some talk of, you know, the new microbus is supposed to be electric, and a couple other concepts that they have are supposed to be electric, but they're trying to really break into the electric field, and they think that the commercial industry is really where they need to go. So interesting to see that. We're not sure if any of these will actually make it to America or if it will be more of a European thing, but certainly interesting to hear all that.
And I doubt that they'll probably put some diesels in those.
No, I think they're probably done with making some diesels, at least for right now.
For right now, at least.
But anyhow, that pretty much wraps up everything we have to talk about for this week. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a fantastic week, everybody. We'll catch you next time.
See you guys.